Okay, so today's question, I have a recent diagnosis of premature ovarian insufficiency. My FSH is at 100. What can I do? Hey there, welcome to Ask the Fertility Experts, a daily Q&A show where we'll be answering your fertility questions. I'm Sarah Clark, founder of Fab Fertile. We specialize in low AMH, high FSH, diminished ovarian reserve, and premature ovarian insufficiency or failure. I will be joined by Dr. Tabatha Barber. She is triple board certified in obstetrics, gynecology, menopause, and functional medicine. If you have a question, simply go to Fab Fertile Inc. on Instagram, leave me a DM and drop your question there, and we will answer your question on an upcoming show. That's Fab Fertile Inc. on Instagram. Take care. Okay, so today's question, I have a recent diagnosis of premature ovarian insufficiency. My FSH is at 100. What can I do? We see this all the time because we specialize in low AMH and high FSH and premature ovarian insufficiency, diminished ovarian reserve. And many times people have been told, donor eggs, you've got to go on, HRT, hormone replacement therapy, may be a part of this equation. But what has sent, what happened before you got this diagnosis? And you should ask people. And sometimes a lot of the times there's a life event, either death, divorce, stressful schooling, a move, something has gone on, and that potentially has triggered this. And so it's key to then we'll look at that. And then what are some other issues, be it food sensitivity, gut infections, and the chronic stress piece, which I think can be missed if you're the kind of person that just keeps going and doesn't take a time to look at that. So what's your take on this, Dr. Tabatha?
Oh my goodness. So here's a common scenario. You have a life event, right? Like you mentioned, it creates a lot of stress in your life, be it a couple weeks, couple months, maybe you have a bad year. And you're constantly pumping out cortisol and adrenaline to manage that stress and handle things. Every time you do that, it's a lot of strain on your gut lining. So the cells between the food you're digesting and your bloodstream. And so you're destroying the lining of your gut and you're creating leaky gut. Luckily, our gut heals. It replenishes every 24 to 48 hours. But if it has a constant insult, it will destroy it. Things will get into our bloodstream that should not get into our bloodstream. Your immune system is right there ready to protect you. And so it starts attacking everything. And I see autoimmune disease turned on because of chronic stress situations. Poor diet health. You don't have to have a poor diet. Sometimes people are eating just fine, but if you have enough stress, you got the gene propensity, you got certain food triggers, it's like the perfect storm. There's now evidence that we create an antibody response, an autoimmune attack against our ovaries and our adrenal glands, the same way we do our thyroid and our joints and everything else. So, rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune condition. Lupus is an autoimmune condition. Hashimoto's thyroid is an autoimmune condition. There's now evidence that premature ovarian insufficiency is an ovarian autoimmune condition, and it's associated with adrenal insufficiency. So what we're seeing is doctors are now saying, oh my gosh, if you have a POI diagnosis less than 35 or 40, maybe we should check some antibodies because you're at risk for adrenal insufficiency. Well, Sarah and I could have told you that already because we know they go together. We know that if your adrenal glands are overstressed and required to pump out cortisol all of this time, and you're triggering an autoimmune response, your ovaries are also going to get attacked. And so your ovaries are being attacked by your own immune system. And so you can't ovulate, they can't function. And if you start to realize, oh my gosh, this is a whole body issue, it's not just the ovary or hormone issue, you're going to make so much headway because tackling that systemic inflammation by healing your gut, supporting your adrenals, getting your thyroid back into balance, like all of that is what's going to help your ovary calm down and not be attacked and be able to function again. So it's just a whole different way to look at it.
Absolutely. And you're listening to this podcast right now. You found get pregnant naturally for a reason. And typically with these diagnoses, it's donor eggs and you're done. And we're here to tell you there is hope. We have helped many couples with, when they've been told donor eggs are the only option, and lo and behold, within 6 months to a year, they get pregnant naturally or improve their chances at IVF after failed cycles, poor response, loss, and more. So although I know firsthand how devastating that diagnosis is, bottom line, there is hope. Thanks so much for being here. If you've got a question that you want answered, simply go to Fab Fertile Inc. on Instagram, send me a DM, and we will answer your question on an upcoming show. That's Fab Fertile Inc. and send me a DM. And please refer to our disclaimer below. Take care.